Hey guys, ladies and gentlemen, it is your podcaster Helen coming to you on this pre-Easter Saturday. Wow, Easter's tomorrow. And we're celebrating the resurrection of Christ. So for all of you who celebrate Easter, happy Easter to you. I wanted to talk about bullying. I read several articles today on my telephone, and it was speaking on bullying. One 11-year-old girl went through bullying for years at her school, and she was 11. Can you imagine being 7, 8 years old, dealing with bullying for years? I couldn't, because I know, I speak from my own experience, that I was bullied when I was in elementary school heading to middle school. I was bullied. And that was not a good feeling for me. My mom would always send me to school with snacks, and it was 2 girls that would always take my snacks from me. And I would have to watch them eat my snacks. That wasn't a good feeling for me. And that was years ago. And bullying today has escalated. They would just take my snacks from me, and then they wouldn't bother me throughout the rest of the day. So those was just my snacks that I was losing. But just imagine if they would have bothered me throughout the day, what I would have endured. And it didn't last for years, but it lasted for months, until one of my older brothers told me, Helen, you need to fight back, or I'm going to tell Mom what you're going through. And it was his advice that he gave me, that one day when I went to school with my candy, I wanted to eat my candy. I didn't want to watch you eat my candy while I had nothing. I stood up for myself, and I fought back. In the bullying for me in school. So I wanted to speak to the parents to be mindful and to teach your kids kindness. If you don't like a person, that's your opinion of how you feel about that person, but you don't have to pick at that person. For an 11-year-old kid to be bullied for years and to take her own life in the school bathroom, that was some serious bullying. Now, I don't know the details or the specifics of the case, but because I'm an advocate against bullying, I definitely will look into it, and my thoughts and my prayers go out to her parents and her friends and her family members for her to lose her life at 11 years old, because kids that's 11 and 12, 9 and 8, is in school bullying another child. I mean, that's just unacceptable. And we as parents, we have to watch what our children do. Definitely pay attention to what they're doing on the internet, because the internet is horrible. TikTok is horrible. All you see is people jumping out of cars and fighting. And we have to be mindful of what our children are putting into their spirit, because it's reflecting back out onto other people, and it's causing trauma, and it's causing even death. So me as a parent, as a grandparent, watching, my children and watching my grandchildren now coming up in this world and being mindful as to what they go through, you just have to be a parent and pay attention. You have to pay attention to your children so much these days until it's just like unimaginable. Back in the day, your mom and dad could go about their business and not worry. But now you really have to pay attention to what your children are putting in their spirit, to what they are absorbing, to what you are doing. You have to be mindful to what you're doing when you're around your children. If you're talking about another person that you don't like, because kids absorb things so fast. Their mind's like a sponge, and it absorbs things. So I wanted to speak on that on my podcast to let you know that, please, as a parent, pay attention. As a teacher, pay attention. I know you probably have 20, 30 children in your class, and it's hard. But if you see a kid that came in your class and they was happy and jovial, and then their spirit went down to barely doing their work, their grades are failing, they looking distressed, pay attention. Pay attention. You could be that factor between them losing their life or saving their life. You have to just take and keep an eye out for our children because they are our future. And I am such an advocate for kids. They are our future. We will grow old one day and the kids will have to take care of us. So we got a bunch of angry kids. Oh my God, and we're in a nursing home. Can you imagine what's going to happen to us? So please, for God's sake, be mindful of what your children is absorbing and putting in their spirit because it really and truly matters. And I always speak on kindness because it matters. I'd rather be kind to a person than mean to a person. Why? Because that's my energy. That's my energy that I'm using to be kind. And it's good energy. It's setting off good endorphins in the brain. But when you be evil and you be mean, it's setting off just a bunch of bad, negative vibes that seems to be just taking you down. I can't do that. I don't wish for anybody to do that. So I had to speak on that 11-year-old girl that lost her life. I read again that a 13-year-old boy almost lost his life because he got bullied into using a fentanyl-laced vape. And it put him in the hospital, and now he has permanent brain damage because he was bullied into vaping that fentanyl vape. And this has to stop. So we as parents have to pay attention. Ask our kids questions. How was your day? If anything's going on, please talk to me. I know sometimes we want to have that iron rule and where we just be firm, but sometimes you have to relax your firmness to get into your kids so that you can talk to them so that they will be able and comfortable to open up with you. I do not condone violence at all, but I'm letting you know to let your kids know, tell them no. If they're being bullied, go to the school, talk to the principal. I'm sorry, if they're being bullied, if you have to take them out of that school and move them somewhere else, do what you need to do as a parent to save your kid's life. So I wanted to speak on that today because I'm just reading too many stories about our children losing their lives to bullying. And bullying has escalated these days, not to simple bullying. Well, give me your candy. Like they would just walk up to me and I would hand them my candy bag that my mom stopped to the candy lady with me when she walked me to the bus stop so that they wouldn't bully me. And then it took my brother to say, what's wrong with you? And for me to tell him and for him to tell me to fight back. But back in the day, you could fight back and just get suspended, which I did. I fought back. And once I beat one of them up, the other one knew not to come my way because, she can fight. And then it taught me a lesson. And I could fight. So with that being said, on a serious note, just teach our children, if somebody is bullying you, talk to mom or dad. It doesn't make you less of a person to come to your mom or your dad and talk about it versus being depressed, not enjoying life as a kid. All kids should enjoy life. Not one kid on this earth should not be enjoying life. I'd keep them all if I had a mansion because I love kids. But with that being said, I just wanted to speak on that today on this Saturday, and Easter Sunday's tomorrow. And we'll see the kids in church if you're going to church, saying their recitations and just looking pretty in their little dresses and suits. And just love on them because they're our future. They're the ones that's going to have to take care of us when we get old. And so if we bring up a bunch of angry kids, we're in trouble. Because we may be the one in the hospital or in a nursing home that angry kid is going to come in there and say, hey, I'm not gonna feed you. I'm not going to give you any water. I'm not going to change your diaper. I'm going to leave you just like this. So trust me, be mindful and talk to these children and teach them the way that our grandparents and parents taught us to be kind to one another, to love one another. Why? And remember, please check on somebody, whether it be a friend, a neighbor, a coworker, a family member, a homeless person on the street. I always say if you have a couple bucks, give it to them. It's not going to hurt you. Just remember to be kind. Why? Because kindness matters. And we here at Helen's Podcast, we care, we love you, and definitely rooting for our children to be rocket scientists and not angry scientists. So please remember to tell your kids to be kind. Kindness matters. And if another person's saying, hey, I don't like that person, well, that's you, because I like them. And you're not going to make me not like them because you don't like them. Because why? I have my own mind to make my own decisions, and wise decisions. So with that being said, have a great Easter Saturday. And until next time, this is Helen from Helen's Podcast. Bye.